The crime of human trafficking has no borders, is transnational in nature and affects all of humanity everywhere. Human trafficking involves procuring or recruiting victims through threats, deceit and coercion, and for the purpose of exploitation, which could be sexual or labor exploitation. You are watching NAPTIP on the Move. I am Emmanuel Okeke. It's so good to have you join us. Are you or someone you know considering taking up a job offer in the Middle East? Have you been promised juicy jobs even when you have little or no skills at all? Well, today's episode is tailor-made for you. Please watch and learn.
Human trafficking is a global trend. In the case of Nigeria, people are trafficked into, from and through Nigeria. In the course of the agency's operations, the Middle East has been spotted as a hotbed for trafficking of many Nigerian ladies.
We have a lot of victims being trafficked in places like Oman, Kuwait, Dubai, so many other Middle Eastern countries. But most disturbingly, we realize that majority of them have now started going to Saudi Arabia in their numbers, because we've been having lots of distress calls coming to NAPTIP to rescue girls like that, who told us that they had thousands of them stuck in the homes because they can't come out of the homes. So the few that you could get access to are those who were able to escape from the houses, because the traveling agents have made them to sign 2 years contracts already. So they are stuck for 2 years or even more. In some cases, we are told that even after the 2 years, they refuse to let them go, because they are made to work like slaves from house to house about 18 hours a day, and they are also raped by the men in the houses. Some of them are killed, their organs are harvested. Some of them actually said about 2 of them were beaten to death because they insisted they wanted to leave. So we've been having so many gory stories like that, and it's becoming really, really worrisome, I must tell you.
NAPTIP is making efforts to rescue victims, though the process is fraught with challenges.
From Saudi, so far we're able to just rescue 1 victim. We're able to profile about 50 of them, because bringing them back is not as easy as it sounds. You know, there's so much going on between governments, and Ministry of Foreign Affairs is on top of it, and is having talks with the relevant authorities, and we're believing that these girls will be repatriated back to Nigeria and rehabilitated. But so far we've been able to rescue 1 victim, and she's been given an appointment. As a matter of fact, she has resumed work with NAPTIP because she happens to be a graduate.
NAPTIP is also working with other government ministries to curb this menace.
We're working with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, the Ministry of Labor and Productivity, the Ministry of Justice, to outrightly demand that the Saudi authorities stop giving visas to unskilled laborers. That's the only way out for now. We need to put a complete stop to it, because if visas are not given to them, then of course they won't be able to travel to any of these countries.
The Director, Monitoring and Investigation, Josiah Emerole, further buttresses the menace of trafficking of Nigerian ladies to Saudi Arabia.
Every day we get reports from various places telling us about what Nigerian girls who were sent to Saudi Arabia by some agents as domestic workers, or what they prefer to call aids, go through. Many of them sign contracts that they don't know anything about. Many of them sign contracts that when they get there, they discover that the spirit behind the contract is quite different from what they are there to do.
He then explains the processes involved and the fate of the trafficked victims who are majorly illiterates.
Most of these young people, in fact, not even young people, we also have some who are up to 30 years, 35 years. Some of them can't even speak any other language apart from their mother tongue. And you are taking this person to go to Saudi. There must be a meeting point in language. If you understand English, for instance, then you can say you could get interpretation. They have been deceived through the contract they have signed with local agents here, and they have taken them to Saudi to meet the other agents who are also there, who have collected lots of money in arrears of up to 2 years for these domestic workers who are to come. And they place them in homes in Saudi, where they are now exploited. In some of those contracts, some of them are even to work like 8 hours, 9 hours in a day. But do they work for those number of hours? The answer is no. These people, they work for 15 hours, 16 hours, 17 hours. They don't have much time to even rest, catch their breath. They are not allowed to even go eat food, except remnants that they scratch and eat. They are not provided accommodation. So they become victims of various types of exploitation in that place. Now, when you say you don't want to work again, you must work, because your money has been paid to the agents up front. So there's a problem.
The unregistered job agencies are responsible for trafficking.
What we have also discovered is that some of these agents are not even registered with the Ministry of Labor. Because the normal thing is that if you are interested in recruiting people to work abroad, after getting your license or your certificate from corporate affairs, you are expected to go to the Ministry of Labor to register, to get a license, to get you out to do this job. But they are not interested. What they are interested in is how to make so much money from these people, and using all manner of agencies and get these people out of Nigeria to make their own money out there. And we are saying that we have been set up to protect Nigerians from the hands of traffickers. We have been made by law to ensure that Nigerian young people especially are not abused. And we are working hard to ensure that this is not done. And I must say at this point that all those agencies that are trafficking Nigerian girls to Saudi Arabia, to Oman, to Libya, and all that, that we are not resting on our oars, because we must get all of them down, because that is what we are empowered to do. Enough is enough.
The National Monitoring Center of NAPTIP confirms the receipt of many correspondences on persons within Nigeria about to leave for Saudi Arabia, which has led to the rescue of the victims.
We have lots of calls coming in from public, especially those that are around the airport, and or even officers, some officers that work, some law enforcement officers that even work at the airport. Immediately they see a group of ladies around the airport, they usually call us, and that call has helped a lot, especially when they call the call center. Then the rapid response now move quickly to rescue or disrupt the movement. Most times we rescue them. We've rescued over 200 women that are about to cross, but in groups, some in groups of 10, in groups of 15, some 20s. Most times you will see they will call us at night. Most times, in fact, it's when the ladies are boarding or they've already boarded, they will call us. We're able to do and even offload them down from the aircraft and then bring them to our office.
Phone calls and emails are also received from victims trapped in Saudi Arabia.
We have calls coming into the call center. We have calls, we have emails that we receive. In fact, virtually almost every day or every other day, we receive cases from Saudi Arabia, from victims themselves, which sometimes they smuggle phones and then hide somewhere and call us and tell us that they might not be here. So most times when we're trying to reach them, it will be very difficult because until they call us, we might not be able to get them to get more details. So that is how it is. So they smuggle phones. Like the case we're presently handling now, it's almost when she calls, we can't get her until after a day or two because most times the phones are taken away from them.
The Director General of NAPTIP has a word of advice.
There's a lot to do in Nigeria. You don't need to leave your country to be a slave in someone else's country. The federal government has come up with very many skill acquisition programs, small business loans. Please don't get enslaved, don't get killed, don't allow your organs to be taken from you. You don't need to go anywhere. Stay in Nigeria, take advantage of all the brilliant innovations that have been introduced by the federal government and make something meaningful with your lives.
Human trafficking is real. Don't fall prey. Join NAPTIP to stop the enslavement of our people in the Middle East by exposing fake job agencies today.
Are you a victim of domestic violence, sexual abuse, rape, incest, child abuse, and labor exploitation? Don't die in silence. NAPTIP implements the Violence Against Persons Prohibition Act of 2015 (VAP). Report all cases of violence against persons to these hotlines: 0703 00 00 203 or 0802 255 627847. NAPTIP, ensuring a human trafficking-free nation.
Hope you've learned something new. NAPTIP is not against accepting job offers abroad, but please clear with the agency before embarking on that journey. NAPTIP Events is next. Stay with us.
The death of Elizabeth Ochanya Ogbaje, a 13-year-old student of the Federal Government College, Boku, informed a press conference on the rise in sexual violence of minors by the Director General of NAPTIP, Dame Julie Oka-Donley, held at the agency's headquarters in Abuja.
Ochanya had battled vesico-vaginal fistula, VVF, and other health complications at the Benue State University Teaching Hospital, Makurdi, after being allegedly severely abused by one Andrew Obuja, who happens to be the head of department, catering and hotel management at the Benue State Polytechnic, Ugokolo in Benue State, and his son, Victor Inalego Obuja, a final year student of animal production at the Federal University of Agriculture, Makurdi. The duo allegedly, consistently, and ruthlessly sexually molested little Ochanya since she was 9 till age 13 and eventually sent her to her early grave. As part of our preventive measures, the National Agency for the Prohibition of Trafficking in Persons, as a federal government agency created to ensure protection of Nigerians from human trafficking and other forms of abuses, has continued to lead in awareness creation and advocacy on the need to ensure adequate protection of our children, being the agency saddled with the responsibility of implementing the Violence Against Persons Prohibition Act of 2015. NAPTIP has successfully convicted about 3 persons for acts related to sexual violence, while about 5 rape cases are presently pending in various courts. NAPTIP believes that these unfortunate incidents and of course other looming unpleasant situations that may be occasioned by sexual aggression on helpless Nigerian children are avoidable if the right steps are taken, while vigorously working to ensure justice for the gentle soul of the late Ochanya.
She then appealed to the state governors to domesticate the Violence Against Persons Prohibition Act (VAP) so as to address issues relating to sexual violence being recorded in various states across the country.
I wish to call on the Governors Forum, which is an umbrella body for all governors in the country, to domesticate the Violence Against Persons Prohibition Act to address nagging issues relating to sexual violence being recorded in various states of the Federation. It is indeed very disturbing that incidences of rape and sexual violence against minors and other vulnerable segments of the society seem to be on the increase of recent, and efforts must be made to address this very ugly situation. The necessary legal framework must be put in place, as no effort should be spared in a bid to protect our children.
The Director General then called on all stakeholders to partner with the agency in its campaign to end all forms of violence against persons in Nigeria. She urged the society, particularly parents and children, to report similar cases to the agency for prompt response.
It is said that a closed mouth is a closed destiny, and that may have accounted for the painful developments that befell the innocent girl in question. Children who are victims of sexual violence and rape should defy any threats and open up, and I assure them that succor will surely come their way. We must all break the culture of silence and free our children from the constant threat of sexual violence. The development is also a challenge to parents to keep their eyes on their children and words by ensuring that they are in safe hands. We as parents and even teachers should be very vigilant and study the countenance and mood of children and words under our watch. Similarly, the society must jointly rise up and say no to the wave of rapes across the country. NAPTIP wishes to use this medium to appeal to stakeholders to join hands with the agency in its renewed sensitization and awareness to end sexual violence and rape in Nigeria. It is our determination to ensure that those who take pleasure in the sexual violation of Nigerian children shall one day have a date with the dark part of history, and NAPTIP shall continue to be their voice and their defense. Let us therefore rise up and protect, defend, cherish and care for our children, because they remain precious ornaments in our hands. We say no to continuous sexual violence and rape on Nigerian children today.
The chairman, Nigerian Bar Association Abuja Unity Branch, Abimbola Kayode, pledged to provide free legal service to NAPTIP, while the past chairperson, International Federation of Women Lawyers FIDA, Abuja Branch, Iyabode Gunseye, urged the government to pass adequate legislation to tackle the rise in sexual violence. The passage of the Violence Against Persons Prohibition Act into law across the states of the Federation will help curb violence against persons, sexual offenses, and child abuse.
NAPTIP on the Move is co-sponsored by the Rule of Law and Anti-Corruption Programme, ROLAC, funded by the European Union and implemented by the British Council.
The Victim Story segment shares first-hand account of survivors. Keep watching.
This Saudi of a thing, it came from one allergy like that from a family friend that introduced me. Then I was facing a lot of trauma and so many things. So when the introduction came to me, I thought it was an opportunity. Never knew I'm going for another phase of sadness entirely of my life. So from there, they said, well, I asked them, how much are they going to pay us? They said it's $150,000. I don't know, maybe it's $500. The man told me. I'm not living here in Abuja. I stayed in Lagos. So we came to Abuja, to the agent here in Abuja. So we started the processing. So, but when we get to the Saudi embassy, so that day they gave us some papers that we should go in and pump print. So the final session, I'm at the final stage. So when I slipped through the papers, I saw 800 riyal, the agreement, everything. I was like, this was not what they told me, because the agent told me that even if I'm going, I should go with my certificate, because I'm a photographer, I do makeup. Before I got married, before everything went wrong, I'm an event decorator. I'm a caterer as well. So when I saw this thing, how could you tell me it's 150,000? And now in the agreement, I saw 76,000. How did you expect me to leave Nigeria and go to other places? Now you tell me it seems I will not be going. They have to tell me that if I have to stop, I will pay like 200,000. Oh my God, where will I see this amount of money? Okay, there is no problem. I just have to go. Shebi is 3 years, and no problem. I'm not lazy. I'm hardworking. I'll have to face it. So when we travel, we go to Dammam Airport. When we got there, they at the point of entry there, they collected our passport back from us. So that was the last day I saw my passport. Not until when I'm coming back to Nigeria. So they packed, we were many, even Ghanaian, Kenyan, Bangladesh, Nigerians, being different nationalities, that they food that we should come there to work. And what makes it so possible that so many Nigerians that they are other nationalities that they are not collecting much money from us. Like me, I don't pay any amount, but some people they charge them 150, 200,000, 253. I mean the agent, but the sponsor over there have paid everything so that they should bring us. Now that is how we see it, as an opportunity, as a free that they are offering us a good job in abroad. So when I left, I got to where I supposed to work. So when I got there, the house was big. The house is like on a 3 plot of land. It's upstairs. So when we enter the house, they tell me I'll wake up 5 a.m. in the morning, that I'll sleep 10 p.m. at night. That okay, they didn't show me anything to work. Me, I thought it was a mere domestic work. Wake up in the morning, clean the whole house, then rest. In the afternoon, you go into the kitchen and cook. At night, you cook. But no, the story was just a different thing entirely. This is where there's time for you to wake up, but you don't have sleeping time. They have 8 toilets, 7 sitting rooms, 7 rooms, and they have so many things, 2 kitchens, and everything was so dirty. When I wake up in the morning, I wash. I'll be cleaning from 6 a.m. in the morning till 11:30. I never need this kind of cleaning from one month to another. If you finish from this, there must be something they will find for you to clean. They even tell you to mount ladder to wash off all their walls so that it will be glitter as white as how they want it. I work 18, 19 hours every day. At 4 p.m. I will have to iron like 5 hours. I will stand. So the veins at the back of my leg was like paining me seriously. One day that the agents, then I called him that I want to leave. I can't cope. I thought this place will help me. I want to go back to Nigeria. He told me we are Shagala. That my dad, either I'm dead, either I'm alive, the woman holds me up because she is the one that paid for me coming there to work. I was asking, what is the meaning of Shagala? They said it's slave. That was the day I cried myself out. How could I be in another man's land, fine, working, and they are calling me slave, and I'll be happy to answer them and work? So that is that I have to call out my friends. They said they are facing different challenges. So who will help us out? Nobody. We called this agent in Nigeria. Said there is nothing he will do. Since we are there, he's helpless. So I ran back to the office. And when I get there, I said, I'm not working again. I'm coming back home. So the agent called me that you want to go to Nigeria? I said yes. I thought I'm going to Nigeria. They took me to another office again. The next thing I could see, just brought us a strokes of cane. I started beating me. And they would tell us, you are not going anywhere. You are here to work and you must work. So after that, they called my sponsor. They said you should come and take me again. So they took me from that office again, take me to the same house I ran from. So from that day, I stopped working. I stopped eating. I stopped everything. Nothing. For 4 days, I did not eat. They were like, this lady will die here. Thank God, praise God. Maybe the 6th day, they called the agent there. The agent said they will not release me, not until they give them someone else to replace me. So the woman now said, okay, what he will do to me is that because I'm good, the very first month that I came, I worked myself out. That he appreciate that I should go to Nigeria. I never know it's God that speaketh for me, but because the opportunity I have, nobody has ever had such opportunity that they will willingly write you, except they will even lock you, beat you, they will not feed you, there is nothing you will do, you are helpless, that they will beat you and maltreat you, and you will be forced to work. This is how most ladies will face there, but they will not know, not until when they get there.
The children whose faces you see on your screen are missing. 5-year-old Chibundu Uzo and 4-year-old Victor Uzo are both brothers of the same parents. The two brothers were abducted outside their house, located opposite Dakibi police station in Jabi area of Abuja on the 22nd day of June 2018. If you have a lead, please call these NAPTIP hotlines on your screen.
For more enquiries and support, or to report cases of suspected human trafficking and child abuse, please call NAPTIP hotlines on 0703 0000203 or 0800 2255 627847 or email info@naptip.gov.ng. Visit our website www.naptip.gov.ng. Follow us on our social media platforms at NAPTIP Nigeria and watch our videos on YouTube.
It's time to say goodbye, but I must urge you to support NAPTIP by reporting suspected cases of human trafficking, child abuse, and all forms of violence against persons. You may just be saving a life. Catch up with us. Same time next week. I am Imanalo Gege. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.